I have been teaching. I've been teaching art for 25 years and painted since I was little. When I went to Japan for a year, I wanted to study fashion design, but then being there, there was so much beautiful fine art, like with block prints and ceramic painting and ceramics. So I thought, I'd rather wanted to start learning about fine art instead of design. So that was kind of an eye-opening for me. And then when I came to America, I went to the Laguna Beach School of Art, and I had a Japanese teacher, and he showed me how to do the wood block printing and also linoleum printing, which is a little easier. I don't know if any of you have tried either one of those things, but the wood block print is, you just use any kind of wood that is soft, like pine is really nice. And then you can carve into it with wood tool. And then you just do the same process I'm going to do today with the linoleum. I just roll the ink over it. And then I have these this here that I just, roll the ink, and I'm going to do that today, so I'll show you. And then we use rice paper, which is nice because it really kind of absorbs the ink. Any kind of paper is good. You can use, they of course make printmaking paper, which are nice too. But I mostly paint with oils, or I teach watercolor, or I used to do watercolor too, but I teach tip and painting classes with acrylic. So this wood printing and linoleum printing is something that I do, now and then, and I teach a few classes too. But I do like to use the water soluble ink when I do demo or teach, because it's much easier to clean up. But they also have oil based ink for the linoleum, which is, maybe a little bit stronger. So I like using that. So here are a few of my samples, and then I'm going to do some printing and show you. So this one is this liner right here. So I just carved out everything that I didn't want to be black. So everything, so it was a lot of carving, to carve away everything. But then I ended up with just an image. And then I paint acrylic, like an iridescent paint on the rice paper first, which is kind of fun because it absorbs the paint and, makes it look a little bit more interesting than if I just had white paper. And then this one, I did the opposite. So that's this lino block. And here I carved out everything that I wanted to show the background. And then everything else stayed black. Or here I kind of mixed blue and black to make it dark blue color. And then I also painted the background. So this one I have just white paper as well. But I think it's really fun to paint the paper first, and I have done that with, see how it has a little bit of a shine to it. And you can just kind of paint the paper first, and then when you're ready to print, then you can do that.
What kind of paint did you say you used?
So I just use like these little, they're just little metallic acrylic paint, and I mix them with a lot of water. And you can't do that on canvas because, it won't stick to the canvas. But when I paint with acrylics on paper, you can mix it to a watercolor consistency. And then I use a big brush and just kind of cover the whole paper. Yes.
Unni, are you making a negative on your?
So
you're
how
carving out a negative?
Yes, you can.
Positive, and then
You can do it like with these little dragonflies. Here is a print of those.
Okay.
Here I carved out what I wanted to say on it.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, and so this is nice because this is also, we call it linoprint, it's almost more like an eraser. Like if you do rubber stamping, you might use something like this. Then I think they're a little bit harder to carve to get detail, but they're really nice to carve they're so soft.
Yes.
So very easy, and I use these little carving tools, and they come with different nibs inside. So you can do a wider nib, and I usually have a few that you have to change in between. And so these are just speedball, and so see, here's a thin one, and here's a thicker one. And so those are really easy to carve. This is how the one that I normally use look. They have the little, they're kind of like the linoleum, and it's a little bit harder, but you can get a little finer detail in this one. Then, let's see. You can also print on wood, which some of these, I just take little pieces of wood, and then I just take my pieces and print right onto the wood, which is kind of fun. And the more Oriental inspired ones I put on bamboo, and then this one I printed two colors. First I printed this bamboo, and then I printed a little dragonfly afterward with a different color. You can also make two blocks that kind of match each other, or three blocks. Some people do that. It's a lot more work trying to get them to match, but I'm a little more simple when it comes to, I just print on top of each other. And this is a little seahorse, but here the mistake I did was I printed too light of a color, and they're too even. So I can reprint this on the back side and make it, either a little darker or lighter, because when you after I printed, I put some beeswax oil on top, and that brings the grain out in the wood. Or if you don't want that, if you want it light, you can just spray it with Kamar varnish or something like that. And then, so it depends a little bit. This one I printed on a linoleum wood block. And I think I did this in the 80s, and it still works. It's really fun. It's a little rabbit. And so here I took away, so this is a negative print, so you will see, and I've made some cards from it. Let's see. So here you can see I did the gold card. And then when I put the ink on, I just started with blue. And at the very end, I rolled the roller in red and just did a little bit over here by the flowers. And then it looks a little more interesting. It has several colors. This is not exactly correct way of doing printing. Some people would go, oh, that's really sloppy, but I'm just doing it for fun. I'm not trying to be exactly correct.
Miss Unni, could you pass me the things that you're showing so I can put
sure.
it up to this giant camera?
Blind people. Yeah, and then this is the card that I made from it. And then this is just black and white. The same image. That really helps. And then this I did orange and blue, and this I did green. So it's really fun. You can just do the same image and get lots of different things. And it's quick, so you can it's a little bit of cleaning, getting all the inks cleaned up, but and the nice thing is once you start, I wanted this to be a positive image, so I started taking away everything that I didn't want to be the heron, but then you can print it and see, okay, I think I need to take away a little more, and then you can just leave the ink on here and carve with the ink, and then it's easier to see how it's gonna look in the end. And I did this thing, and you can just make, and so this is the other one that I did, and I just carved out a little bit more. And the same with these little seahorses and the little fish. So I thought I would print one of these so you can see the steps. And this is a good tool. So once you put the ink on, you can use a barrel, and there's different kinds. This one is a little padded, so it's really nice on the rice paper. Or if you have a little bit rougher one, and these are very cheap, so these are good to buy if you're teaching a class. But they're a little bit sharper, so you could just put, oh, another paper. Yeah, so there's these two different ones. So you could just put another piece of paper on top of the rice paper, and then you can rub a little harder. So these are really nice. They're just like $5 or something like that. So these, or you can, if you're making something small like a card, or I even used it on these little wooden pieces, you can just put your block under here and then push it down. And so that's a little press instead of having the big presses that, you know, are really nice, but also very expensive. All right, so I thought, so I buy the ink, and there's different kinds. There's speedball and little tubes. And then there is this one is a Blick acrylic, that's a good one too, or Blick ink. And it's in a little bigger jar. And so I thought I'd take a little bit of these. And I just use, you know, a palette knife or something. And this metal piece here is a good printing piece. You can carve on here and then you can print on here. Or you can use a piece of glass or even a thick piece of plastic. Plastic is nice because it's a little easier to handle. You don't break anything. So now I'm going to take a little green and a little blue, I think. And I just put those there. And then I have a little rolling over here that I will roll into the ink. Maybe I'll do the larger one. And then I just take a piece of rice paper that I have painted. And then I can put that here. And then I just roll into one color for now. So I'm doing two colors. See, I have a little blue and green both on here. Okay. And I have to roll it out a little bit because if you get it too thick, it will fill up the little crevices, and then you won't really get a good print. So I rolled it a little bit, and doing that, I also mix the colors just a little bit. And then I'm gonna roll it onto my linoleum piece. So this is the seahorse. And now he's gonna, just make sure you get all the edges and that you can see the paint or the ink on here. And then, so now he's nice and colored. So then I'll just put it upside down on the paper the way I want it. And now I'll try not to move it around because then you get it all kind of not very clear. And then I can put it in the printer here and push it down, or I can turn it around And then use this one. Or this primer, and then I'll just rub.
Is that a brayer as well?
Yeah, this one is also speedball. Yeah, this is the bear here, and then I'll just rub that. And use a little bit of power. And make sure you get the edges. And then the magic happens. There you go. And it's so fun for children. They think it's like magic, you know. And for children, when I teach them, so I thought if somebody wanted to try it, oh yeah, I'm sorry.
So you could buy, from Michael's, different, what, flat, you don't have a rubberized ones, what am I trying to say?
You mean the roller?
Huh?
The roller?
Not the roller, the rubber stamps, rubber stamp.
Yes, or you can make your own rubber stamps.
Yeah.
So which is really fun because, yeah, you have this is the rubber stamp material here. And then we just carved into it, and then you can glue a little piece of wood on here, and then you have a rubber stamp. And so that's really kind of nice for your own logos. You can make, yeah, little logo to put on your, I thought I had a piece here, but maybe I didn't bring. Yeah, so those are kind of nice to do, and you can use this material here. So they come in sheets that are 4 times this. So I just cut it in 4 to make cards. Or you can, yeah, this I showed you. But this is what I was thinking. This is really nice and quick. It won't last for 40 years. But it's kind of like egg carton. It's called foam core. And so when I teach children, this is what I bring. And you could even use those foam plates that you can get, you know, dollar store or something, and cut out the circle in the middle and make round ones. These are a little more squishy, so these work maybe a little bit better. And then all you do is take a pencil. And one thing to remember, whether you make it with a linoleum or with this, if you're going to put your name or you're going to write some word. And so my teacher was showing he had made a poem, and then he printed it and it came back mirror writing. So what you have to do is hold it up to the mirror and make sure it's written right before you print it. So what I do, I tell the children to draw a drawing on a piece of see-through paper. Then we hold it up to the window in the classroom and then draw the back side. Then we lay that piece of paper down on the foam core, and then they draw really hard. And this is the nice hard little pencil. And I, you know, just has a sharp little edge. And then they can just draw into it a couple of times until you can see the grooves, and then they can print it. And so if anyone want to try that, they're welcome to. Let's see. You can also use, yeah, I think they use these. You can also use a pen. I have some pens that are old and doesn't work anymore. Those are really good. So for example, if I make a heart, now I'm pushing through it. Like that. And a little heart. So you can see how that kind of, you can see how that made a little groove. And that's enough to print it. That's amazing. No, so you just barely can even see it. So that's enough. And this is so easy because you can make stars and circles or spirals, you know, anything. And very cool.
What kind of paper is that?
It's called foam core.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of like what's the foam plates are made from. The nice thing with that, they come really nice. They don't have like dents in them, and so you know they're a little bit easier. And then you can do that, and then you can cut it out like these. I'll just show you the difference. Here, you know that those are a little softer. And for this one, yeah, we should be doing that. We have I think more of a detail here. And the leaves, you can see a little shine of them. I have the powder, the iridescent powder. That sometimes after I put the ink on, I just drizzle a little bit of this onto the linoleum before
And this is not like the powder like you would use.
yeah, so just a little bit of iridescent powder. And so I can use a little bit on this one. Let's see. I'll take. Oh yeah, here. Does anyone want to try to do a contour one, and we can print it and see how it does? Anybody volunteering? You want to make it for you?
Yeah.
I didn't need the. Yeah, that really was, yeah, that's great.
Oh, yeah, that's really my. Yeah, how do you act? You can't see. Yeah. Yeah. Or then one day you use that.
Anyone else want to try it? Alright, here's something for anyone wants to.
Can you guys hand me the things that you're passing around so I can show it to the camera?
Linda, may I ask Uni a question? That is,
Yes, you may.
Uni, that is so cool. Uni, I did one of the foam, I'm on the video and I did one of the foam ones.
Yeah,
But what I got was, I like my foam core better than when I tried to print it. To print it, it just didn't show the lines. What did I do wrong?
you might have added too much ink,
Okay,
because if you fill in, let's see.
thank you, Linda.
Yeah, if you fill in these little crevices with ink, then they won't be printed because you won't show the negative space. So you have to, let's see. So when you get the ink on the table and you start rolling, roll the brayer a little bit back and forth before you put it onto your foam core.
Okay,
You don't want to fill up the crevices. Yeah, so try that, and you just wash it, because this is why. Are you using water soluble?
I do think I used that. It's been a while since I did it. And when I realized that that's what you were doing, I thought I'll grab it and ask you, but I'm pretty sure I did use inks on it. So I'll just try
Okay.
again. I don't know what I expected from it, but looking at yours, I love yours, and I like the foam core idea. So thank you for your help.
Yeah, try it again, and if it doesn't work the first time, wash it off, because sometimes when it gets a little bit moist, then it might come off a little more easily as well. So
Okay,
just try it until you get the right effect.
thank you.
And then sometimes I do a painting. This is a Sumi painting with the Sumi ink. And then I will, do a print of maybe a butterfly or something on my painting. So that's another thing you can do. Just kind of mix ink and prints. Here is a very thin piece of This paper, see, it's almost see-through. And yeah, so it's very fun. You can do all kinds of images. All right, should we try it? Okay, now you have to come and print it. All right, so just put your, go ahead, yeah, just put it here. And then you can roll it in the middle like that. Oh, no. And then roll it over this.
This one's the word.
And, oh.
Nice job.
Then we're in that.
Oh, wow.
It seems still on.
So what is the little ink right here where you see that there's a little more right there? What are you clean it up with? Just water. Yeah, just water. This is water soluble.
Yeah, I've seen.
They will do it. Right here. It's got a little box. Where do you get it? To do some. So what we'll do is we'll just. And now you're not rub it. Yeah. Okay, next. Okay, next directions.
Yeah.
Okay, you're just writing things down. I'm writing it down. I'm sending out an email and I'm signing up.
Okay, just rub it in. Do you want to?
Okay, I'll get back to you.
Okay, I will log in as well. I'll give you the contract.
There's a, since food and wine was just. There was a spot. That food, yeah, and there's a spot, there's some wine.
Okay, I thought it was, well, yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just bringing.
But, yeah, I was thinking of writing some trees.
And that's very pretty. Design.
So. It's.
And it's visual and it's visual, love creativity. Yeah, you take a picture of these if you wanted to remember. Sometimes. Right there, so you say.
Show our cameras.
Both on, no? You show the camera a little more and then we'll print it again. So what I do now is if I change it over. You might write a little bit,
That's nice. That turned out great.
First print, Jackie.
That is cool. And then this is what he actually drew. So let's see them next to each other.
Oh,
That turned out great.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the one that he printed and see how it's the opposite. So if you do a word, you have to do it mirror writing, right? So here's your original. And then you can make it happen. So it's the opposite of what you, yeah, okay. Finally, let's see what it is. A little more ink on the side. Let's do one more when it's Easter. Okay, so now. And then we grab all the corners. Yeah.
Is there a space on there with the green? It's gonna bring cheese and crackers.
yeah.
We can do it. We can go there again. I think we can go there. Then make a little bit of water. Yeah.
Right down here.
Maybe. So I love that we done that. You can do another one too. Do you want to do it like? You put the paper on.
Anyways.
Okay, here's those. Yeah. Get the corners too. Yeah.
These are turning out great.
Carved. Yeah, and he said he wasn't a drawer.
Yeah.
Kidding, I mean.
This is like the old meat trays.
Yes, yeah. Meat trays or.
Meat trays were this foam stuff before we turned to plastic for
Mhm.
the meat trays is kind of.
But you can get, you know, a pack of those foam and here, let's put this on here. And then you want to put it in black and have this next one. Okay, good. Now they'll take a piece of this. And then what I like to do is to put the paper down first. That way.
Yeah.
They're not being perfect. Okay. Or so quick. Then I just. Well, what's it sticks? And then.
You're writing your name. You're writing your name.
So there. And then you give it everything. And then you just push this down. And then you pull hard. So now let's get. And now we don't have to remember it.
It's called screen printing. So you can
Take a little of this black.
and I print smart things out.
Print it, you may still have.
All those paints in the garage. Screen printer.
That way, and then it's not going to be right.
Thing is, you have to.
So now we reverse that a bit.
What you see.
Okay.
Going to be, what you don't want to be printed, you want it to be clean.
Yeah.
You want to carve that out. What you want printed, you.
Sorry. Okay.
Right? Yeah, negative, positive, because, yeah. Because in photography, that's what I work with negatives and stuff.
So it turns out so we.
Right.
Let's say it one more time with the.
Oh,
with
no,
the dark color.
that's okay.
That's, no, I want to see it one more time. So what, we needed a little more ink is the problem here, but otherwise it turned out nice. So let's see, now he's getting this. And we're gonna put. Paper down. It's kind of on the paper, like so. There we go. And now we sit that upside down.
I'm surprised they don't wear gloves.
Yeah, it's just water. Yeah, I never wear gloves. I just wear my hands a lot, so. But it's not poisonous. That's why I can do this with the children. But when I use the oil-based one, then I'm more careful. See, so you can just wipe it off with just water, see that? And then now, let's do the black, and see, I put more ink, so there should be plenty of ink now, try it again. Oh yeah, that one turned out perfect. Lunchtime, very nice. Let's put this, yeah, did you see that? So there's the difference. Yeah, that turned out a little bit stronger, so it's a fun to see the difference. I'm gonna do this. Okay.
Linda, we should line them all up and take a picture for Facebook too.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Great idea.
Okay, let's put them down here and we can put the original and then we can put this next to that.
I don't actually.
And then after we go put them on.
I really don't. I already don't remember how I said it.
Yeah, yeah, let me see. All right, so you got it, perfect. Let's move it over here. And put the paper down. And this is the shiny side up. Okay.
Can you see what's the sign?
Yeah, yeah, I can see it. And then just. Also, see what we need.
Good.
Perfect. We will turn it around. And then wrap it fit. So I wanted to order that online, it's so long ago, I don't really remember. But the nice thing about it, see this edge? When you're carving, you can put your block towards the edge, that way it doesn't split. And the only important thing is to keep your fingers away from.
Okay, so you said when you carve. Yeah.
Yes, and then this try to.
Yeah.
put over this here on Jason Barber.
Okay.
Yeah, this is fun. Try this. I'm trying to carve a little bit in there. How did that? That's really nice. I like the.
I don't know what some of the stuff is in there.
I think you got a little gloss on there. There you go.
Good.
The leaves.
I don't know what I meant to, there to be a moon, I guess.
There's a moon there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, put that over there and then the little thing. And see this one. If anyone want to try to carve it a little bit, I have a copy of, we're not. Just, you know, to get the feel for how that feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
Just keep your hand away from the,
No.
you wanna try to carve this a little bit? Yeah.
Highlight all the. You know, so you don't want to paint it, that's showing that has been made, and then we're going to do the helpful, something on the next.
And then
That's fine, you can keep everyone meeting. But if you're volunteer, what that is.
yeah.
Like, you have to be Maryland and home. Well, I would be the chef next to it,
Yeah, we should take a picture.
They are so beautiful. So that.
Yeah, and it's just kind of have to draw it and then figure out what's gonna be positive and what's gonna be negative.
Really beautiful stuff. I like the way you framed it too.
Yeah, the frames turn out nice.
Yeah. Lock and all my.
Wow, and so these, I added a little bit of iridescent powder, see?
Yeah.
So what I did was I put the ink on, and then I sprinkled a little bit of iridescent on, and then I printed it, or. Yeah, so this I did the ink before I printed it, and then a couple of them I did there it is, afterward, because I forgot, but this was so fast. I just sprinkled it on, and then when it dried, it just flew away, you know, what lamps here, what the was there. So.
I've never seen the new sapling.
Oh, I have them much persimmon now and then, but now I just made some new ones. And then I keep the paper behind sometimes. So that's actually just a little piece of this one. I just printed.
Yeah.
Or if you get the good print on half of it and the other half gets smudged, you just cut out that piece.
When are we guys all about?
I'm gonna make a picture of here. Come on, you sit down here with your.
Oh, no.
Well, just so I get everyone.
Oh,
Yeah, there we go.
Good, okay.
Thank you.
yeah.
And then.
I'm already going there tomorrow morning and then I have to make my sister, so I can't be there tomorrow afternoon. Unless Linda, who's in charge of. It takes, I know, well, then it's locked. But. Oh, I know.
I'm looking too.
Those people don't even have the new venue is all new, I know. I have to leave, so whoever it is.
Exactly the same. I don't know if I like them more than that. So these are a little cheaper when you buy them.
You're gonna
As
pick
much
up.
as I use.
No, it's donate it.
More about them.
If at some point it needs a new.
We'll be
fine, or
this one.
on it, we'll-
And I'm sure this is a little bit cheaper online, but you know, like $5, $6.
Just there's,
Where you buy.
you know, the current bathrooms have a little sign.
And then it's actually really nice for my cards, because you just say you have a lot of rubbing. So I just put and it works a little better with these thicker ones as opposed to
This
the
is all I
little
found there.
contour.
It wouldn't be there.
You know, because so sometimes I put,
Looked it up.
yeah, I put something under there, like maybe put one of these square ones under and then print it.
With that.
And how much did we sort of get?
Thank you very much.
There's.
Maybe $40 to go. I kind of.
Probably kind of thin.
You don't. You push it, put it in there. And then,
Do you need?
Trucks.
you push down the thing. And you can just push down with both hands. And that's.
Yeah, I've got all the. I have
Sure.
barbecue sauce.
There are, so one of these two.
I guess what
Edge,
happened is
let's see.
the building.
Yeah, and there's artist paint tool, they come,
Okay.
yeah, this one.
Right now,
You know, it's a little more square, try that one compared to the one you just tried.
Karen's, Karen's got the secret and I'm hard friend of hers.
Yeah, so your bathroom, yeah, see, that has another one sharper and.
Slow down there.
And so then. Oh, good to see you, Tom. So the last thing is, basically. Why?
Okay, don't be 25. Okay.
Yeah, but that's so much. I mean, I saw it, you don't have to. I don't get out.
All right. You can where Tuesday goes, but.
Because that's what they go. This is a good one.
Oh, yeah, that's
The only thing is, if you are doing some tiny detail, you now and then you might want to just use a little knife, because sometimes, you know, when you carve, you might get a splinter and ruin the whole thing. So you have to go with the blueprint. So if you know how to carve, which you're now a professional. Yes, always hold your fingers behind, you know, because if you hold your finger in front and you slip, then that's not a good thing. Yeah, try that one and see the difference.
So what, does Michael's have those kind of?
You know, Michaels have some, yes, they do have some.
I would try it with kids, you know.
Hobby
with children.
Lobby, exactly, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Ben Franklin's in Grass Valley, and then of course online. Hi, Ernie. And then you know, Dick Flick has everything.
What is that?
Dick Flick, well, they have a Dick Flick down here in Sacramento, and also online. But when you go to the store, of course, you can kind of look at everything. But if you go to, Dick Flick online, and I can send you the information. But it's like a whole block printing.
Love it.
With the inks and the carving.
Other pastime.
Yeah, and these are the soft carving ones. Oh, here's the one I wanted to show.
Oh, yeah.
This is like a little stamp, right? So you just carve a little one and then you have a little stamp. Mhm. And I just kind of use this like this. The red one is a little softer still. And then I just carve it and then I have some of the kids old wood blocks. You know, like ABC blocks. Those are perfect to glue them on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So it's really nice and cards and.
Something you. Oh yeah, here's the Persimmon Gallery. And I meant to say that we, I meant to say that we are looking for the 3D artists. And if I know any 3D artists that are interested in being in our gallery.
All right, thank you so much.
It was very nice to meet you.
Yes.
Seeing you.
There is.
So.
The lemon is here. What's that? No, there's always.
If she teaches classes, we can also put that in our newsletter.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
great. Yeah, I'm teaching a class tomorrow.
If you get Linda the information, I'll add that for the next one coming out in March.
Oh, perfect. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Uni.
It was nice seeing you.
Okay, I think we can stop recording.
Okay, you guys have a great day. Thank you, Uni. I love the work. It's wonderful.
Oh,
you guys.
thank you so much.
Good luck with the show.
Thank,
Thanks for all your help.
yeah, thank you for your comments too and questions.